Hi guys, it's Kelly Harris here from KDS Keltec. So, Toyota Supra next to me. I'm out in the wash tent. I'm going to put the head cam on. You never know what footage we'll capture, so let's turn it on. It's on. So you'd have watched the last video. If you haven't watched the last video, go and watch the last video where that actually shows the defects we found before we unwrapped the vehicle. So the water won't be really hot, it's only just to sort of take the chill off the water. I have my wheel bucket ready with some wheel mitts, normal G-Technic microfiber wash mitt, and then I've got the best microfiber wash mitt from G-Technic. So we got to think of, it's done 80 odd miles. I can actually show you it's done 80 miles. Let me turn this camera on. It's only done 80 miles from brand new. So let's press record and that will show it's 80 miles. That's what the car's done. So I'm going to go ahead with washing it. I'm going to check the lance. Of course, as I thought, there won't be a lot of brake dust on it. So I'm now going to spray on G-Technic's W6, which is an iron fallout remover. This iron fallout remover, even though it's got a picture of the wheels on there, I will show you both bottles. It has a picture of wheels. There you go. It's not for wheels, it's for any painted surface that has fallout that's landed on it. Of course, brake dust is a ferrous iron material, so that's where it works best, is removing and dissolving down any ferrous metal shavings and filings. But of course, this can land on the top of the car as well. It can be from industrial fallout. If you park the vehicle near railway stations, which a lot of you probably do, you will get the brake dust from the trains as they pull up into the train station. Depends on sort of the wind direction, where the car park is, how close it is to the station. You get fallout from grinding as well and building work. It is in the air all the time. Depends with the industry, what's near you, it can be worse. If you're out in the countryside, you're unlikely to get iron fallout. You're more likely to get pollen. You have to consider, where do you park your car? At home, at work? Do you park near industry? Do you park near a power station? And when I say near, you could be 2, 3, 4, 5 miles away. Depends which way the wind's blowing. All them things you have to consider. So it's turning purple, but it's not a huge amount of brake dust. I'm going to go over it again just to make sure. Extra coat. So you can leave this on as long as it stays wet, really, as long as it's doing its job. So if it's a hot sunny day, last thing you'd want to do is do this in a bright sunlight, especially on a dark colour wheel. It's actually far better to have a cool shaded area, which I've created with a tent here. I'm going to rinse my hands off of any chemicals. It's nice and cool and shaded in here, so the panel temperatures are nice and cold. So it gives me longer dwell time and to have a cup of tea while the products are doing their job. So remember, these top surfaces here had a plastic sheet on. So I'm going to do a little test there. I'm sure there's none, there shouldn't be any because it had a plastic sheet. I'm going to see if anything goes purple, which is the colour changing reaction from these type of fallout removers. So now I'm going to do the lower areas of the vehicle where brake dust would have gone up while it's being driven, even if it's just at 80 miles. Be interesting to see what we got, because you never know, it could have been parked outside at the dealership, and right next to the dealership could be an industrial factory. So your brand new car, before even registering it, could possibly have fallout on it already. This will show us in a minute. So the back of the car, obviously brake dust comes back round, especially the Venturis and the aerodynamics of cars now, that tries to suck the air around underneath. So this is the perfect time to inspect what fallout's on there, if any. So there's fallout. Very small amount in the bonnet, but there is fallout. And I can capture with a video. There is absolutely lots and lots and lots of fallout. Those little dots, we can see them. Do that. There's clusters of them everywhere. So what I'm now going to do is do the top surfaces. Doesn't surprise me. I was actually expecting that. So it's amazing how many people will probably think they pull their protective wrapper off. It's brand new flawless paint underneath. So there's fallout. I don't know where that fallout's come from, but there is fallout all over the vehicle underneath the white protective wrap, which you imagine means this is perfect, bare, brand new, fresh paint with no fallout on it. And clearly, that's incorrect. So, I'm going to go and get the bigger bottle now. So, we could clay this fallout off and it's going to scratch the surface. But most of this vehicle, being brand new, doesn't need polishing. What would happen is, we'd scratch the surface if we had to rub a clay bar or clay cloth, clay mitts, whatever you choose to use. We use clay cloths, would actually damage the surface by the microscopic scratching effect of rubbing iron particles into the surface. I'm going to pre-rinse the wheels a little bit and then come back round. I'm not going to take all of the product off, just some. It's dwell time I can extend by diluting it down. You've got to start figuring there's multiple things going on here because I've got the wheels half wet now. I've got the fallout remover on different surfaces and I've applied at different times. As long as you can remember that and aware of it, and that's when this wash tent really helps, because obviously it aids me with it being nice and cool, helps the dwell time be extended. Now if this was on a transporter, you could have all the brake dust from, well, you will have all the brake dust from the Arctic lorry, trailer, cab, what you want to call it, that's been pulling the trailer along, or the lorry. And this is actually totally and utterly smothered in fallout. I've had someone to watch the video once before of mine saying they could not believe the amount of fallout remover they used and how expensive the fallout remover is. It's not expensive, it depends on the way you look at it. When you see in a minute the amount of fallout on this car, for a brand new car that's only done 80 miles, you can hopefully appreciate the last thing I want to do is scratch this car with a clay cloth or a clay bar and rub all of this iron particles into the surface. I've still got about half a litre left in there, that litre. I've not actually used a huge amount. I'm just spraying for a long time. So I'm going to pick my phone up and show you how much iron particles there are on a car of 80 miles. It's riddled. Absolutely riddled. I'm going to zoom in. It's smothered. It's right up in the gaps, the tight little gaps where you can't clay. So yep, there's a lot of iron everywhere on this vehicle. Remember, a brand new car, I'm going to keep repeating myself. So you would never imagine to see this much fallout on a brand new car. So I'm going to do a quick rinse. I don't need to remove it all at the moment. Now I'm going to thoroughly rinse the surface. Definitely an interesting shape. Nice simple test. Once you've rinsed the vehicle down and you're getting all your wash mitts ready, or your shampoo if you haven't already got it ready, is to actually spray where there's a really bad area. See if it turns purpley pink again. Well, it's a purple colour. See if it turns purple. So if I've got a small bottle, this I have, I can just use a small bottle. So this back area was bad, around behind the back wheel, and that crease was bad. So So I'm going to do a little patch down through here because it was obviously from the front wheel, from the brake dust. Now you see why I did the wheels twice. I put some product on, went round, left it to dwell, then added a bit more because somewhere like that is definitely going to need it. These wheels will come off the vehicle when it goes indoors. I'm now going to check the areas where I've applied a second fallout remover, the GTX fallout remover. It's looking fine. So that's the second application of fallout remover. You can see it's done its job. The first coat done its job. There is no remaining fallout on that area. So let's go down the front area that was particularly bad as well. As you can see, there's no fallout there now. So it's done its job. So I know now we're pretty good to go with a wash. If you watched the video, the first video, the unwrapping video, you remember there was some actual mud and dirt in a recess down in the groove. So what I'm going to do, I'm going for a small soft brush. I'm going to use some all-purpose cleaner, foaming all-purpose cleaner. I'm going to spray some foam down in that gap, and I can see why that gets filled up with mud, because it's actually now full up with the foam in there. It's actually turning slightly brown now, so I've tried to do as much of it as non-contact as possible. I didn't want the inspection to see much anywhere else. I don't think it's worth going around rubbing everywhere if it's not dirty and scratching the surface. We would never use these brushes on a maintenance wash because they are going to do some harm, so I'm now going to pinch that brush so it's flat. So it's just gone down in a groove. So let me show you. There is actually some dirt there. Take over the main camera. And what I've done, I've squashed this down so it's very, very, very thin. So it just goes in the groove. So then I'm avoiding scratching the surface of the paint. I'm going down the glass gently, pushing it in, squeezing together to make a fine, wide, almost like a very fine, wide paintbrush. I'm actually going to say for the moment that's all I need to do. It's just that little area around the back. I say last night indoors I checked it with all the light everywhere. It was just that one random area to rinse that brush off. I'll start on the tops. Obviously this has never seen fresh air, daylight and fallout because obviously it had that clear white film on. But as you saw when I took that film off, it actually had fallout on the surface. We won't do any targeting or sort of glue remover, tar and glue remover out here on a car like this because it's only going to be localised small areas. We can put it indoors, put it on a ramp, check what areas need doing, a more controlled environment. I'd rather do it indoors on a ramp. More soapy water. So currently upstairs, while I'm actually working on this vehicle, upstairs my office is Jay, should be editing the video that you have just watched. When I say editing, it won't have a lot of editing because it was like this video, it's almost pretty much straight out of the box.
Hands up who wants the hour-long director's cut edition. Back to the show.
Press record and go. We're trying our best in all of these videos to do the least amount of editing possible. I think it's real, more realistic, it's real day-to-day life. I've watched many videos where there's so much trickery and editing going on, it's unreal. So the idea and the purpose of the future videos here at KDS is always going to be truthful, honest, our opinion, if that be unboxing, testing, reviews. There's no need to lie, no need to exaggerate. As someone said to me once, transparency. And the funny thing is, he said, the trouble is, Kelly, you're too transparent. What you see is what you get. And I found it funny he added the word, the trouble is. Go underneath, around the edge, underneath. I'm sure it's not going to be dirty. Right. Obviously it's a brand new car. Underneath the edge. Checking the mitt, it's fine. My knees don't like that. That's the end of the rinsing. let's get on to the drying stage. We've got some G-Technic towels. So you can pat dry like this. That would be the best way you could possibly dry a car. It won't work very well with an unprotected vehicle. You need to have a protection on the vehicle. Then you'll find it sucks up the water very quickly and easily. So you could pat it, you could rub it like that, drag the water off. Again, it will work much better on a protected car. So if your car's had nano coatings, waxes, sealants, or something like G-Technic, put on there, as you do that, you can see you've got the droplets from the water. So if I was to do that, and literally no hand pressure, you actually end up pushing the water around. Whereas when you have a corrected car, polished car that's got G-Technic all over it, there's a huge difference into how easy it is to dry. Yep, there's all fallout all over that window. It's sort of acid rain marks. It's actually horrible to, this is so grabby, so difficult to dry because there's no coatings on the car. If you're having problems with water droplets coming out of the car, great little tool we got is the Flex blow dryer. Looks like a leaf blower. I'm not trying to actually dry the water, I'm trying to just blow the water out of the traps. And carry on drying it. So it's pretty much dry. It's a little tiny little areas left, not many. So next time you see this vehicle, it'll be indoors. I'll be able to inspect it again, see if there's anything unusual. I've noticed a little bit of tar and glue removal needed from the stickers and transfers, but at least it's looking a lot better now. I can actually carry on drying this inside as well, inside the workshop. So thank you for watching, goodbye.